What's up, everyone? This is DeagleBeagle, and today we're going to go over Suicune. I don't think Jamie Boyd has covered this yet, but maybe he has. Okay, so my opinion is that Suicune generally should be a Tailwinder. It should have probably these four moves. Icy Wind is probably the most filler slot, but it should have Tailwind, some sort of water move, probably Scald and not Hydro Pump, because a lot of other good there's not a lot of other good water moves. Hydro Pump misses too much, or Liquidation's physical. Yeah, I would just use Scald, and Snarl's just a really good move with it. So I would use Snarl probably. Otherwise, it's like probably not worth using. And it has a really good ability, Inner Focus, so they can't flinch you with Fake Out, Rock Slide, whatever, and that's really useful, especially for a Tailwind setter. The only downside is that it's a special attacker, and you can't take advantage of Inner Focus with its. I guess you could actually use Liquidation, because now that I think about it, its attack isn't too bad, but you wouldn't get the 30% burn chance, and Snarl wouldn't do as much damage if you're making it a physical attacker, nor Icy Wind. So yeah, I would just make it special. And I didn't even think till like a minute ago about how Terra Dark boosts up Snarl, but generally I'd like to use Tailwind setters that are both immune to Taunt, at least Prankster Taunt, and Fake Out. So I used to run either Covert Cloak Tornadus with Terra Dark, or run a Terra Ghost one with why am I blanking? With Mental Herb, a Terra Ghost one with Mental Herb. So this is kind of the same idea, where you don't need Terra Ghost because it already has Inner Focus, and if you really want the Tailwind up, you can Terra Dark, and they can still taunt you if they don't have Prankster Taunt, but like Prankster Taunt is still pretty common compared to regular Taunt, and the regular taunts, they might not even be fast enough. Like, it might be an Incineroar, and it might not even be fast enough. And even if they are fast enough, you could maybe give Suicune some speed EVs to outspeed, like Incineroar or whatever is using taunt these days. But I still think like it's mostly like Tornadoes and stuff. There's not a lot of other Pokemon that use Taunt. Like, there's a lot of Pokemon that could use Taunt, but is Heatran really using it, or Landorus, or Iron Boulder, or Raging? Like, no, probably not. Okay, even though they could, it's just usually people don't think it's worth running. But that's why like on Tornadus they would run it, because it doesn't have much else like good moves to use. So I've never seen taunt with Fluttermane. So I think I'm going into too much of a tangent, but um, leftovers is probably the best item with it, because look at how bulky it is. And the second best item would probably be citrus. So if you have a item clause issue where you already have leftovers, I would probably use citrus instead. Or I suppose you could even, yeah, I suppose you could even use Mental Herb, because then you don't have to Terra Dark, and you can save your Terra for something else. So yeah, I just thought of a fourth way to use it. So this, and you may be wondering, why do I have these exact EVs on Suicune? Well, first of all, it's pretty close to just evening out the defense and special defense, but I have it specifically for a reason, because if you look at the most common Pokemon, electric and grass Pokemon that super affects Suicune and would do the most damage, Raging Bolt would be possibly the most common thing that super affects it, maybe followed by and hits hard, followed by maybe Rillaboom. But there's no way it can wall Rillaboom, even if you max out the HP and defense. So I would just focus on Raging Bolt. And if you really want to live Rillaboom, then use a defensive Terra against it. Okay? So, and you can't beat everything. So yeah, that's what this shows, is that even the non-Miracle Seed one, like just the regular Adamant, Rillaboom will one-shot a Suicune no matter how bulky it is, um, at least some of the time. 37.5%. I guess you could just hope that it doesn't kill, but then you would have like almost no special defense, and that would be generally worse versus like versus things in general. So I don't think I personally would use a Suicune with that much defense, because then you have almost no special defense compared to defense, and you kind of want to wall attacks in general, not just one specific Pokemon's attack that you shouldn't even be probably expecting to wall, because they'll either use Miracle Seed or they'll get a high roll or something a lot of the time, or a crit. So, uh, by the way, since Icy Wind is so filler, you could use Ice Beam or Helping Hand even, because Suicune doesn't have a lot of offense, so you might get more use out of just using it for Helping Hand, or like the turn that it's gonna go down, you could Helping Hand, but it being so bulky, it's gonna be hard to take out them. It's gonna be hard for them to take out, but you can Helping Hand a bunch of times and really put in work with it. And then this one, I would probably recommend this one the least, because there might be a better Calm Minder, even though I can't think of one off the top of my head except maybe Raging Bolt. Yeah, it might be better with Calm Mind than a Suicune, because it gets like just more offensive aggressive moves, and Suicune just has one stab move. So that's maybe the biggest downside of Suicune, is it only having one stab move. But its stats are pretty good. Its ability is good. Um, but yeah, this is a way you could use it if you really want to use Calm Mind. But I swear there's a better Calm Minder. Raging Bolt. Even like another Pokemon like Latios or whatever might even be better with Calm Mind. It depends though. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, Mental Herb is finally the last way to use it. You don't have to use Terra Grass, but I would use a Terra that likely resists both electric and grass. You could use Dragon with it, but I don't recommend Dragon. Um, Maybe because, I mean, it's not a bad Terra. It's just, why would you Terra Dragon when there's so many Dragon Pokemon out? It's like you Terra Dragon to wall an electric move from Raging Bolt, and then it just uses a Dragon move against you to super affect you. Like, and also Terra Grass can be used to be immune to Spore, since Suicune can't really do much to a Moongus. You could just at least wall its Spore and have some other ally that is like a grass type or something, and then just passively beat it instead of trying to um, muscle through and knock it out before it like spores you or your ally. So yeah, I would recommend one of these four Suicunes. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next video.